Hey, welcome to Corsa Auto. In this video we're gonna demo to you on how to replace the alternator on a 2007 Chevy Uplander with a 3.9 liter engine. It's not an easy one. You gotta move quite a few things. So I'm gonna show you the fastest way to get that alternator out of your way so that you can replace it, put a used or a new one. I recommend a new one, but if you want to put a used one, your call. Here we go. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove the cover from this fuse panel. After you remove the fuse panel cover, you're gonna see two bolts right in here, two nuts actually, one here and one here. I've already removed them. 10 millimeter, you get these two bolts right out, and then the fuse box will come out of its place. Second thing you want to do is that crossbar that's there, you want to take the 13 millimeter bolts, two from the right side and one from the left side. I've already removed both of them, so this part is ready to come out. So this is the bar here. Just gonna take it, put it to the side. The other thing you want to do is you want to remove you can take the wiper blades out, or you can leave them on because it has a little thing here, gap. So if you take the two 10 millimeter bolts out, one from here, one from here, you should be good to go. Two on this side and two on the other side there, and it's already removed. But before that, you do have to take the cover off, the upper cover. And once you get that cover off, you got a few clips. Get it out. If you can leave the wiper arms, leave them. If not, remove them. If a lot faster. Once you remove them, take those bolts out. Once you get those bolts out, then we're gonna try to take the windshield washer reservoir, which is this one here. So we're gonna work on that to remove it. But what I would like to do is I want to remove the whole windshield mechanism, like the handles, everything, the arms from the bottom. The reason why is because if you don't and you disconnect it from here, it's very difficult to line back up. You really have to know how to time it. If you don't know, you'll have a lot of issues. So the best thing to do is leave this part and do it from the top there. Now let's move forward. You also want to disconnect your battery, the negative cable from your battery, so that nothing shorts out and you don't have any electrical issues. So please disconnect that too. And then you also want to disconnect the wiring harness from the windshield washer wiper motor, sorry, so it's ready to come out. All right, let's move right along. So I just took the battery right out, get it out of my way, and now I'm working on the windshield washer bottle. I took one of the bolts out from that section there, and there's one up in the back there and one at the bottom. So I'm gonna slowly take that out and then somehow close the water so nothing comes out from the reservoir. And just trying to remove the 10 millimeter bolt from the windshield washer reservoir. It's a little bit hard to get to, but I'm working on it. Well, I got this far. I opened the bottle. I'm just letting it sit here, and I removed the whole windshield assembly, the mechanism, the linkage, and all that. One thing I did was I removed this joint from here. It was attached. I undid it so that it comes out from that corner and also clears the way of this dipstick. You want to remove this dipstick right out and just put it to the side, so that you can pull this whole assembly out. Be careful with this hose here. You don't want to break it. It's very fragile. Thing is plastic, it's brittle. Yeah, so the wiper motor completely come out. Just gonna let it rest there. If not, I can put it away, and I'm gonna start taking the alternator out now. All right, you just gotta use your ratchet, 3/8 ratchet, to pull the tensioner from the bottom and remove the belt so the belt comes out. You want to clear your way, get it out of the alternator, just let it sit somewhere. So next we're gonna take out this bolt right here, and then there's two in the back, also the wiring for the alternator. the positive wire and also the wiring harness from the back, so we'll go through that process. Okay, the next thing I pulled out that 15mm bolt from the alternator from the side. To get the two bolts from the back, it's a little bit tough, so it'll be a lot easier if you can remove these bolts for the mount on this side and that side. Lift them up and then let the engine come forward. If you can put like a tie strap or something to pull the engine this way so that you have more clearance in the back there to get those bolts out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got the strap here. I hooked it up here and I hooked it up down here, just a light bolt. The engine came forward, so now I will have more clearance from the back there to get those bolts out a lot easier. Okay, so this is the nut I got off from the power steering hose at the back where the alternator mounts the second bolt on the right. I believe you gotta take this out first and then you have to take the big bolt out. It has a stud sticking out, so I'll find out soon. I'm taking out the bolt. Yes, that's how it was. It's a 15 with the stud sticking out. I'm just taking it out right now, and it's a lot easier by pulling the engine outwards, forward. I'm about to take the second bolt out, and then we'll remove the wiring. It should come out. Okay, I got the bolt out, and it looks like this. 10mm on top. See if the alternator will come loose. Okay, I'm just prying the alternator out, and it looks like it's almost out. As you can see, it's almost at the edge. It's about to come out. There it is. So the alternator is loose now. Now I'm gonna try to take the wiring out from the back. So you got one connector. I'm gonna take that out first so it doesn't break. It has a little tab at the top. Push it in and pop it out. And then this one might be a 13. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a 13mm. So let me get this. Alright, I got that nut out. So we're gonna remove the wire from it. And there we go. Take this out. Just like that, I pulling it out so you don't have to remove the reservoir for the windshield washer fluid. And there we go. Came right out. We're gonna go over to the alternators. This is the new alternator. We're matching it, make sure everything's the same, and then start putting everything back. So you shouldn't have any issues putting it back the same way. Now one thing you want to do is see if you can push this pin in, so when you put the alternator in, it's not hard to get in there, because this comes out as you tighten it. It's a little sleeve. It's a pin, goes in and out. I got the alternator back in place. All the bolts are tight from the front back. The bracket is in for the power steering with the 10mm nut tightened up. So we're all set to go. The next thing we're gonna do is put the belt back, and you just do everything in reverse. I hope you don't have any issues by putting everything back because you took it out. It should be handy enough, and we'll show you how everything is after the car starts running. And we'll keep putting everything back and keeping you posted. Thank you very much. Okay, now alternator is all done, the belt is on. Next thing we're gonna do is release this tension belt we used to pull the engine. Release it back, let it go back to its position, get rid of this clamp. Remove it completely because we're not going to need it anymore. But this was a nice tool and it helped out a lot. Good little puller. I'm going to put these bolts back now. The bolts for the mounts. Okay, I got this mount back in its place, both of them, they're in, and I kind of weaseled my way in with the wiper linkage. Now you gotta put the wiper motor right in front of the washer bottle and slide it into the other side, and then you can push it in because the firewall is blocking this metal here. And don't connect this piece. Once you get it all in there, then you can kind of run it through there and get it in position, just like that. You see how it slides in nicely, and now you can just mount it back to its position wherever it was. You can put the bolts back here and the other side and tighten them up. Alright, I got the wiper linkage in place, and I'm using a vice grip to put the bullseye in place. So okay, there you go. You just slide right in there. It seems like it's pretty tight. Got into its place, so that's how you put back the linkage. Yeah, we're getting it closer. Put the reservoir for the washer, the bolts in place. There's three, one in the bottom, one on the side, one on the top. Now I'm gonna install the fuse box in with the two nuts on it. Okay, we got the crossbar in. We're gonna tighten it up. Bolts are in its place. There we go. Okay. And two here. And one more here. Oh.